What's going on, difference makers? It's Kirby. I trust you've all had a nice weekend. It's Monday afternoon here in Australia, and I know for some of you it's still Sunday. That's okay. Monday's looking bright, let me tell you. Today on this episode, I want to talk about building your community, and I want to talk about particularly how to build it the right way. And it's probably a little bit different to what you might have experienced from some of the gurus who tell you to go and just sell, 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 sell. And I want to give you an equation right now. This is about as technical as I ever get, by the way. You know, I like to keep it all simple. And I want to give you an equation that I think will add massive, massive value for you and help you to understand how to think about building your community or your followership or your tribe or whatever word you want to insert there. Now, before I get into that, just let me know where you're coming in from. If you're watching this on replay, let me know where you're coming in from. And also, let me know what you think of the content. If you've got a question, bang it in the comments. If you'd like to see more of Ramika, which everyone's telling me they do, then put that in the comments. And today I want to talk about, like I said, this notion of building your following. And the reason I want to share this with you is because I've seen a lot of sort of, let's call it advice from the guru industry. Saying, you know, you go on social media, go into Facebook groups, basically steal people from the group, message them on private message and offer to have a conversation with them. It just all just feels a little bit icky, and also it's not nice. Like, if you think about your inbox, it's, you know, it's your space, right? It's your space online, and when people come in and offer something and they make an unsolicited offer, even if that's as simple as, hey, come and like my page, it just doesn't feel quite right. So I want you to grab a piece of paper and write this down. Or if you can't write it down, like, do it on your notes on your phone. And I want you to write down this equation. Trust equals value plus clarity. Trust equals value plus clarity. All right? Now, let's talk about the trust aspect first. The reason that people do business with people is because they trust they can give them the solution. Now, that could be through demonstration of previous results, which you might have, which is one way to build trust. But in the most cases, for most of the people that I speak to, they don't necessarily have a lot of previous results. They might be new to the coaching industry. They might be new to building a business. And so then they're kind of stuck in this loop of saying, well, I don't have enough experience, and therefore how do I build trust? And then they end up just going and doing like scattergun approach. So for me, it's really important for you to find a way to add massive trust. That means that people will start to attach to you and they'll start to follow you. All right? Let me know in the comments if this is making sense, by the way. I'm trying my best to explain this. So that's the trust part of that equation. Now let's go to the next part, which is value. All right? Now, value means different things for different people. Value for me means results in advance. That means that when they watch your live stream, or when they download your lead magnet, or when they do the thing that you're asking them to do, that it gives them value in advance. It gives them results in advance. All right? So they say, geez, that really moved forward for me. Watching that video really gave me some new insights. And that's where that next part comes in, clarity. Okay? So trust equals value. So value is results in advance plus clarity, because it's no good giving someone a result if they don't know how they got there in the first place. So here's how I think about clarity. It is our job, it is our role as a difference maker in whatever market you serve, and I know it might be different to mine, that you let people know three things. Number one, let them know that it's okay that they are where they are right now, whether that's in their business, whether that's in their relationships, whether it's in their finances, whether it's with their health. You got to let them know. You got to make clear to them that it's okay that they are where they are now, because no one feels good about being in a shitty situation. Okay. The second thing that you need to let them know is that they're okay. Okay. So it's okay for them to be where they are, but they're okay where they are too. They're safe, and that's something that I think a lot of gurus, they miss it, right? Because what they want to do is they want to really push hard on the pain point, and they want to push hard on like the jugular, so that people want to take massive action and get out of it. And I know you need to do that to sustain sales, But also, like, we shouldn't make people feel inferior in our quest to make a sale. That's not a nice way to do business. And then the third thing we need to give them clarity on is why it's happening for them. Okay? So, just to tell you the equation again, trust equals value plus clarity, where value is results in advance. So you're giving them good indications of go and do this thing, go and try this thing, go and look at it this way. So you're giving them insights or steps, depending on what you teach and or what you coach, and also then the clarity. It's okay that you are where you are. You're okay where you are, and here's why it's happening for you, and here's what to do about it. And that just completes that loop. Now, from my own experience, here, let me give you some insight into what it means. I spoke last week about showing up. I spoke last week about being consistent. And the reason I share that with you is because it's one thing that I've struggled the most with. And I've struggled the most with it because of imposter syndrome, feeling like who's going to listen to me? Am I good enough? All that stuff. And you've heard me say this last week again and again. But when I do show up consistently, and in the periods in the past where I've shown up consistently, what I found is it's been extraordinarily simple to build trust by not actually being the dickhead, right? So I'm not out there every day saying, come and buy my thing. And I'm not out there making offers every single day that that requires my market to pay money. I am big on spending the time to build your following. And I would actually caution you against thinking that you can just come out of the gate and get 1 million followers based on something that gurus are telling you to do, because quite frankly, I think they've lost touch with what's needed now. And there's definitely a swing back to human interaction. Everyone's talking about automation and Autobots and messenger bots, where you can have these whole conversation things going on without ever having to speak to an individual. And I don't think that's the right way to build your business. I think the way to build your business is to be diligent. I think that the way to build your business is to care. That's a shocking word, I know. And I think the way to build your business is one person at a time. And I think that is the way you need to look at it. One person at a time. Changing one person at a time. Helping one person at a time. Making a difference to one person at a time. All right? So just today, for example, I've had back-to-back calls. It's now 1:30 in the afternoon here in Queensland, Australia. I started my calls this morning at about 9 a.m. and I've been back-to-back all morning. Now, in between those back-to-back coaching calls, I have been in my DMs on Messenger and on Instagram, sending messages to my people, to my followers, and to the people who are in my groups, and to people on my friends lists, people whose birthday it is, helping them, not specifically on their birthday, but with our students, providing feedback to them. If someone has done a good job and they've put themselves out there with a video, I've sent them a message and said, hey, I really like your video. Here's what you could maybe change up. Here's how to think about it. I'm helping people all the time in that spare moment. The reason for that is, my belief is that if you do that enough, you don't ever have to make an offer. They will find their way into your world. And it will never have to be the hard pitch, okay? It will literally just be, hey, I would like to help you with this. Do you want me to help you with this? And they'll say yes. Because you've been there enough. You've given the value in advance. You've given the clarity, which oftentimes they're not getting. You're giving them that moment where they go, that makes so much sense. And that instantly builds the trust. And if you do that again and again and again and again with good intention, the right people, and this is the really important part of this whole video today, the right people will find their way into your followership. The right people will join your tribe. The right people will be in your community. And the reason I say the right people is because sometimes at the haste of getting ahead, we end up with the wrong people. And so by doing this process, it's going to take longer. It does take longer to build a following if it's the real following that you're building, okay? Like my Facebook page has been going for, I don't know, like 5 years. And it's got 3,100 people on there who follow the content. By now, I've seen other people who start around the same time as me who've got like 600,000 people on their list, on their Facebook page. And you know what? Good on them. But how many of those 600,000 people are engaging? For you, I want to give you strategies, and I want to give you this formula, because this builds a true following. If you're given value and clarity to your audience, they will trust you. And you want those people, even if it's one person a week, who just goes, you know what? I legitimately like what Kirby shares, or I legitimately like what you share, in your case. And as a result of that, that person then watches everything you do. They've changed their notifications to say, hey, show me first when Kirby starts going live. That's what you want, because that's the kind of people who are attaching to your message. They're attaching to your values. They're attaching to how you show up, even if you are just wearing your gym gear. That's the kind of tribe you want. That's the kind of community you want to build. And so just to give you the equation one last time, trust equals value plus clarity. And that is what you need to be working on. So write that down, put it on your monitor. Every time you want to go online, you got to be thinking about, is this going to add value to somebody? Is this going to give them a step forward? Is it going to give them a new way to think about things? And is it going to give them clarity on why they're in this situation and how they should be feeling right now? That for me anyway, that's the formula to building a successful following on social media. And I hope that's been helpful for you. I got to run because I got another call coming up that I got to prepare for. And I hope you have a good day. And the biggest thing I want you to remember is leave everyone better than you find them. Always. And if that's something that I've helped you with today, then I hope that I have. And I will see you tomorrow for another live. If you want to also do me a favor, if you have not yet done so, go to iTunes or Stitcher or Spotify and search for The Difference Makers Show. And you'll be able to subscribe to the podcast, where we have interviews with loads of awesome people. But also, all of these episodes get uploaded there too. So if you want to catch up while you're at the gym or while you're in your car, go ahead and just subscribe to that and leave me a review if you like as well. That would be really, really helpful. So anyway, I got to go. I will speak to you guys tomorrow. If there's any comments or questions, bang them in the comments. And I will see you guys when I see you. See ya.